Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to World War K. It looks like we're going straight into the action today. MechJeb forces have taken over the island runway near the Kerbal Space Center, just off the coast. So we're going to go and take it back. We're going to get air superiority so that we can defeat them, and then we're going to send in our land forces.
Engaging the enemy. Mola, Kronal, take them from the front. I'm swinging around behind them and go for that 6. You keep them busy.
Jebediah Kerman is an ace fighter pilot. He's leading this. He's leading the flight.
This is Flight Leader. We are engaging the enemy.
Our 3 biplanes are going to take on the enemy forces. It looks like they're launching fighters towards us. We're flying biplanes. They're flying triplanes.
No, Mola, Kurdo.
Damn it, they've got Mauler and they've got Cordo.
This is Flight Leader. Mola is down. Kurdo is going in.
Hopefully Jeb will be able to get revenge.
I'm engaging the enemy.
Now the problem is with 1 versus 3 is that even if Jeb tries to commit to 1, the other 2 could come around behind him at any moment. The unfortunate part is that the triplanes are more maneuverable than biplanes. Generally speaking, triplanes are more maneuverable than biplanes.
Looks like Kurdo's managed to put down safely on the edge of the island. Once we've dominated the airspace, we'll be able to send in a rescue unit.
And the problem is we are having a very difficult time chasing them down. Of course, in the interwar period between MechJeb forces attacking us, unfortunately not much money was spent on the Air Force, so we're still down to our current supply of biplanes for fighting off enemy forces.
I've got you this time.
Just gonna light the shot here. Come on, Jeb. Ah, must have just missed that one. It's a little bit disorientating flying like this. Jeb is doing an amazing job of being able to keep his cool.
Yes,
Oh,
that's the Mola.
looks like Jeb took the tail off that one.
Doesn't look like he's down, though.
Unfortunately, the MechJeb forces are pretty damn good at compensating for even heavily damaged aircraft. So, it looks like it's still flying.
No engine, no tail. I think we can count that one as a kill. 1 down, 2 more to go.
It looks like Jeb managed to get the kill there. Take out the tail and take out the engine. I don't think they'll be flying back from that one. Now, the question is, where are the other 2? One coming in there. Very lucky that they haven't picked up onto Jeb's tail. I'm very surprised that they haven't tried to actually directly engage Jeb's tail.
I'm gonna get on your tail. Come here.
You know, Jeb was moving, so it's a good chance that they just didn't manage to get a decent shot lined up. Here we go, just trying to spin onto this guy's tail.
I've got you now. There we go.
Now, problem with having the canopy so far back in the biplane, meaning that we've got very limited visibility. Making it hard to hit the target here. Come on, Jeb, you can do it. Nearly there.
There we go. That
Oh,
was
that's
Kurdo.
beautiful hit.
Take that.
Beautiful hit. Jeb's completely wiped the floor there.
Looks like the one left is crash landed on the island. Kurdo or Mola must have clipped him on the flight path.
Now, it looks like the third one has actually crashed on the island, as Jeb just mentioned. Looks like maybe Cordo or Mauler managed to wing them on the fly past, especially with the rear-mounted guns that they had. Luckily, it looks like Cordo's actually managed to put down on the edge of the island as well. So if we retake it, we can pick them up and rescue them.
Just make sure it won't take back off again. Sky is clear. Looks like we've got air superiority. That's a kill.
It looks like Mauler is dead, unfortunately. I cannot see any sign, but Cordo's managed to at least ditch and he's still alive. But it looks like they've launched 2 more planes, and those 2 planes are coming in pretty fast.
It looks like we've got more bogies taking off. Going to engage.
Oh no, it looks like they've got missiles as well. So they're firing a missile at us. Hopefully we can dodge this.
They have 5 missiles taking evasive maneuvers. This one's gonna be close.
No sign of Jeb. We see no sign of a shoot. Is this the end for Jebediah? So, what we're going to do is we're going to make a plane that can take on the enemy Air Force and hopefully defeat them. We're desperately in need of upgrading our Air Force, which is kind of like what happened in the interwar period between the First and Second World War. What we saw between the First and the Second World War is that the airplane technology had advanced leaps and bounds. At the beginning of the First World War, you were seeing planes of less than 100 horsepower, and by the very beginning of the Second World War, you saw planes with 1,000 horsepower being the norm, above 1,000 horsepower. The Supermarine Spitfire, the Hawk Hurricane, the Messerschmitt Bf-109E all had power plants of over 1,000 horsepower, and this is mainly because the engineering of the time, especially the First World War planes, used to use a radial engine, which was really kind of coming to its engineering limits. It couldn't be designed really much better, and the design sort of changed after that, and we got inline power plants, and these managed to go much, much faster. And so the development from that really did change the nature of air warfare. If you're talking about the First World War, bombers were only marginally slower, ever so marginally slower than fighter planes of that day. And it made people have this sort of mutually assured destruction, the fear of the bomber. Like we have mutually assured destruction of nuclear weapons these days. You fear, we fire a nuclear weapon, they'll fire a nuclear weapon. No one fires nuclear weapons because everyone will die. The same thing was true of people's attitudes to bombers, especially after the First World War, because fighters couldn't really catch them. There was no way to really stop a bomber. The only way to get them to stop bombing us would be to bomb them. So there sort of exists that mutually assured destruction. And bombers are also kind of popular with the British, which is why the Royal Air Force actually continued to get funding and not be folded into one of the other forces when it was actually developed, because we could threaten native tribes people in colonial regions with our bombers. Possibly not the most politically correct thing to say, but it's one of the reasons that we actually had the Royal Air Force, and the Royal Air Force actually stayed a thing in the interwar period. But during the period in between wars, finally there did exist some sort of fighter-centric push. And originally, bombers were the elite forces, and today we see fighters as the fighter plane elite. They're the best pilots. Actually, in the interwar period, bombers had that elite status, and now it's fighters, and it did actually become fighters towards the end of that interwar period when people started recognizing the fact that the upgraded power plants really could offer a better bang for your buck, and it could mean that the things like the Hawker Hurricane, the Supermarine Spitfire, the Messerschmitt, all could actually catch up with bombers and do interception, especially with the advent of things like radar, allowing people to actually launch fighters and intercept bombers, as opposed to not being able to catch them at all. And while this is only one real facet of the arms race, the crazy, interesting interwar period that led to the development of air forces, modern air forces, there is so much I could talk about. We have a limited time, so I'm just going to leave it at that. We're just going to talk about engines for today. Let's talk about what we have here very briefly. What we have here is a Eurofighter type design. The idea being its wings point downwards. It gives it a bit more maneuverability. This design is called relaxed stability, which is just another way of saying it will fall out the air, which is a good thing, because relaxed stability basically means that it is naturally a little bit unstable, and that allows you to do maneuvers better. It does, however, mean that you actually can end up falling out of the sky or into certain, stability situations where you maybe wouldn't want to be. If we're having a little look here, you can see that we're actually having some issues going up. We actually don't have a very powerful engine. We have a single engine, and say the Eurofighter or the F-22 Raptor, modern fighters, actually have a dual engine design. We've got a single engine here, so we're actually a little bit underpowered, and going through that climb there, I had to kick in the afterburner just to keep us climbing. The amount of ordnance we have on here does weigh it down a fair bit, especially with 2 fuel tanks, but I want to be able to have enough fuel so we can dogfight for a while without falling out of the air. It's a little bit underpowered, so maybe trying a 2-engine variant might be worthwhile. So here's a twin-engine variant. Unfortunately, the 2 fuel tanks we've got in the center here oxidizer and liquid fuel. They aren't available in a single liquid fuel type, so they don't carry as much as I'd like. It's only a very rough design, just to see what I feel of the concept, and it's not very stable and would take a lot of redesigning to make it work. Luckily that's a simulation. Let's try a different dual engine design. Effectively what I've done is just chucked on a 1.25 meter to a 2 1.25 meter part and put 2 engines on. The little RCS type things we have on the edges, by the way, are jet-powered based RCS. I have them on so they will work with burn together when we fly in formation later on. But you can see that with this amount of power, we can turn really sharply. The engines at the back are actually vector thrust engines. They are very good and allow us to get some incredible maneuverability. With 2 of them and this much power, we're actually in danger of falling up the air when we turn too hard. And it looks a bit ugly. So I think we'll go back to the single engine design. We'll travel a little bit slower. We will have problems with our ability to get high and to, you know, basically gain altitude quickly. If we ever get into a situation where we're ascending and there's an enemy in front of us or an enemy behind us, we're going to have problems. But I do feel that mostly this craft is perfectly good, especially the canards at the front. The canards are giving us a lot more maneuverability. We pitch really well. It's a bit slow on the roll, I will say. This aircraft isn't possibly the best rolling aircraft, but it performs pretty admirably, I feel. So, you know, jet engines were definitely something that happened largely after World War II. The first 2 real jet engine aircraft in World War II were both in 1944, the Gloucester Meteor and the Messerschmitt 262. Ooh, there we go. We're climbing reasonably well, but we do need the afterburner on for this. But by and large, you were looking at mainly the changes to do with you know, prop engines, and particularly with the advent of stuff like the turboprop afterwards, there was a great increase in power to engines. But something that very interesting that happened after World War II is that in the early 60s there became this emphasis on guided missiles, and people were like, oh, well, you don't need cannons anymore. This actually led to a couple of issues. In the Vietnam War, because conventional thinking at the time decided that, oh, you know, you can't use guns, aircraft are going too fast, the Americans actually suffered a lot of attrition and losses, because when they actually went to use guns, their training wasn't there, etc. The emphasis on, you know, guns wasn't there. And later in the Vietnam War, when conventional thinking kind of accepted or changed to accept the fact that guns could actually be used at that speed, it actually allowed them to get a higher kill-to-death ratio based on the fact that they could actually, you know, use the guns and the training and the maintenance was there. So I'm perfectly happy with this design. The design works very well. We're going to send 6 of our newly designed aircraft in. Captain Valentina Kerman, a new Kerbal who has transferred over from the Styx Dominion, a pretty badass and well-renowned pilot from their Air Force.
Flight leader Valentina Kerman here. We are ready to take off. Flight, let's get airborne. Ashley Kerman, no showing off, I know what you like.
Who's transferred to the KSC to defeat the MechJeb menace, is going to be leading this flight. With the advent of Jebediah Kerman missing, presumed dead, we can only put all our eggs in this one basket. So, we have 6 Kerbals.
We have liftoff. Gold flight is airborne. On our way to target.
Actually, these are twin-seater variants. These cockpits are from QuizTech Aero, by the way, if you're wondering what the mod is. They're actually twin-seater.
Okay, flight. Our mission is to establish air superiority over the target. We must retake the island at all costs.
Neither the Eurofighter or the F-22 Raptor are twin-seater. There actually exists twin-seater variants for training purposes, but in general, why would you carry the extra body? It's extra weight. Looks like people are keeping formation pretty well. It does seem that we are somehow creating sparks from the collision effects mod when we turn.
Information flight.
But we'll just skip right past that.
We are inbound to destination. Prepare for battle. Okay, flight, engage the enemy. Go head on. I'll provide top cover and swing around behind them.
And it looks like we're on station. The enemy forces are launching. It looks like they outnumber us.
We have advantage in our height, but they have numbers. There are 6 of us, 7 of them. Let's make every shot count. You are free to fire missiles. Gus, why are you so far ahead? Don't be so aggressive, Gus. Have target lock. Firing missiles. Looks like we got one. Good shooting, Gus. Target lock. Firing missiles. Gus, you've got one on your 6. Take a base maneuvers. Gus! No, Gus! Damn it, Gus! We have a kill. 2 down. 1 of our flight down. Flight will need a rescue team. Guys, there's too many countermeasures in the air. Our missiles are going haywire. Reserve your missiles for when you're on the stage flight. Fire missile. Oh, looks good. Guaranteed for 5 countermeasures is missed. We're out of missiles, switching to guns.
So the tactics we're going for here are firing our missiles slightly early. Now, the problem with firing missiles slightly early, especially head-on, especially when there's so many aircraft and they're firing off so many countermeasures, is that they can easily get distracted. We just like to fire them early to spread the enemy forces out and make them take evasive maneuvers, make them spend their countermeasures early, and so we can go to guns.
Firing.
Ultimately, I'm happy with how we spent them. Going to guns now. We've already got 1 kill, so 1 kill for Valentina.
Target firing missile. Look out.
But we've already lost Gus Kerman, unfortunately.
We have been lost. Landing target taking evasive maneuvers. Looks like we've lost it. Re-engaging target.
So we're coming in behind now. It looks like they are more powerful, so it is a little bit difficult keeping up, but we are a lot more maneuverable. They have the ability to be a lot more powerful, gain distance on us, but with the maneuverability.
Yep, looks good. Looks like we've got 1%. Look out, Ashley. That was close. That's on the guns range. Damn it. We can get this sucker. Oh, that looks good. It looks like all of their engines are out. Excellent. That one counts as, well, probably counts as a kill since it goes in the drink. Let's re-engage a different target. That one is out of our threat level. After you're such a kill stealer. That one was mine. We have been lost. Taking evasive maneuvers. Still locked. Looks like we're out of it. Search for targets. One dead ahead. Oh, still locked. I'm gonna miss the target. Let's keep going. Oh, this missile's gonna be close. Take your base maneuvers. That was very close. Maybe next time we should pay a bit more attention to the missile. Good shooting, Flight. Looks like we're winning this one. Good kill, Azzy. Good kill. Right, we've got a Bowie coming in below us. I'm on at 6.
We're kind of lucky there. It looked like one was trying to come in behind us and take a strafing run, but we managed to pitch over them. The increased mobility of our craft compared to theirs is incredibly beneficial.
Got one of his engines. Good shooting. Come on. Yes. Looks like it's going in. Yes. Nothing such a kill stealer. So many kill steals today. Oh, another kill. Very nice, Azzy. And I think that's it. Flight. Looks like the airspace is clear. Good shooting, everybody. Mission Control, this is Gold Leader. Mission complete.
Okay, so it looks like we have completely and utterly won. We have 3 planes left, we've lost 4. Enemy have lost 7, so almost a 2-to-1 kill ratio. I would say that's a complete success. Now, the enemy planes had 3 engines. They were more powerful than us. They had more weapons, but they were nowhere near as maneuverable. Going for maneuverability in our design really helped. It didn't allow them to line up shots against us. It allowed us to dodge out the way, get onto their rear, fire missiles, go to guns. Incredibly beneficial. This was a thorough win for us. I'm perfectly happy. Thank you very much for watching. I've been EnterElysium. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. But until next time, and the next World War K, stay shiny.